travel the banks, the river of Jordan, to find where it flows to the sea. I looked in the eyes of the cold and the hungry, and I saw them looking at me. I wanted to know if life had a purpose and what it all means in the end. In the silence I listened to the voices inside me. They told me again. There is only one river, there is only one sea, and it flows through you, and it flows through me. There is only one people, they are one and the same. We are all one spirit.
When I was a boy, my grandfather taught me that this is a receiver to distinguish it from a radio transmitter. Receiving is an art. It takes discipline, focus, and fine-tuning. Otherwise, you may get something you don't necessarily want. There are many ways to receive. They don't hurt. You can catch it. See, here, trust me. They don't hurt. All right. Okay, now for the next 20 minutes, just play amongst yourselves. We are in the season of giving and receiving. But in order to receive those gifts, we have to be somewhat open to receive. And I want to share this letter from Dear Abby. But being a Unity minister, there's one condition that I must impose. And so we need to make a deal. At the end of this, when you hear the end of it, that you are willing to send love. To send love. Is that a deal?
Yeah.
Good? Okay. Now I feel all right for sharing this. Dear Abby, 5 years ago, when my niece was 9, we came up with the idea of making Christmas cards and sending them to special friends and family members. We both work hard to make sure each is attractive and in good taste. And we print a personal note on the inside. We also print on the back that the card was, quote, handmade with love. This has become a tradition for the two of us, and the cards are quite beautiful. Last year, after we sent them out, I received a card from a friend with a small check inside. The card read, "I'm sending you this check so you can afford to buy real cards next year." You know, my first thought was, wow, not a lot of receiving going on here. And this is when we all have to send love to the check sender, all right? We're sending love, that they may be open and receptive to all the gifts that come their way. Yeah. And then there... You have to see me after service. And it requires an additional donation.
That's called bait and switch.
Just baiting, I'm not switching. And then, no. And then there are those people that we know, and there are many of those people amongst us, probably every one of us here, that are very attuned to receiving. Very attuned. One of those I know is a friend of mine named David. And that's his real name. I sometimes change names for sensible purposes, but there's no need to change David's name. That is his name. And he is a master cabinet maker. And he shared with me several weeks ago his tremendous love for old homes. Like so many of the homes in my neighborhood of Cleveland Heights, or Shaker Heights. And he told me that when he's in one of these homes, and when he reaches out and touches an antique built-in cabinet or a carved mahogany banister, that electricity runs up his arm. And he shared this more than once with his work crews. And they look at him and say, "You're weird, Dave. It's just a house." David is acutely receptive to the craftsmanship, the pride, the love, the care, the energy that was infused into that wood by the hands that crafted it. That energy and that love are present now in that wood. It's very alive, and he receives it. There's another woodworker here who's nodding in understanding agreement. I know you're all nodding in your hearts. He knows how to receive. I think there is a common conception in our culture that giving is difficult, receiving is easy. Now, that hasn't been my experience in life. Maybe it's just because of the wonderful circles that I get to run around in. But so many people that I know are so good at giving. I mean, I hang out with a lot of really, really phenomenally good givers. And at times, I see those really good givers not always able to fully receive the good that is present there for them. All the gifts and all the love that's present in every moment. Of course, there are exceptions. And I just gotta share one more. This is from the same day. This was from December 13th. The exceptions to what I just said. Dear Abby, I am 13 and have a problem. My mother gave me $20 so I could go Christmas shopping. But I forgot I was Christmas shopping and ended up buying everything for myself. Now what do I do? Because she's really mad. Signed, in trouble, in Michigan. I found that receiving is an art. That to be done well, we need to pay attention to it. We need to pay attention to how we receive. Receiving doesn't just happen. It's not like we show up and we just get to receive easily. At least that's not my experience. If you have an easy experience, wonderful. I'm not trying to change that. But I have found that I need to pay attention to how to receive. I have to prepare the soul of my being to fully receive. Just as we pay attention to maintaining our cars, cleaning our homes, exercising our bodies, putting nutritious food into it, we need to pay attention as well to how we receive. Now, for over 100 years, the New Thought movement, of which Unity is a part, of which we are a part, has been teaching that what we choose to see, we do see. That as we think, so we do. And we all know this is true. I mean, if you just check it out once, just once, I mean, you'll never forget the lesson. I mean, virtually every person in this room has done it at least once, and I know most of us countless times. But once you've done it, you never forget. You can't go back. There is no going back after you've seen the truth. As we see, so we do. As we believe, so we are. And so we choose to see things affirmatively. We choose to see the good, and it's not always easy. And one of the earliest metaphysical teachers, one thing I found about Jesus, he taught us so much. He came and he showed the way. He showed unconditional love. He modeled it so beautifully. And he did provide some instruction on how to do it. But I don't find as much metaphysical instruction from Jesus as I do from some later teachers. And one came along about 30 years later. His name was Paul of Tarsus, also known as the Apostle Paul. And he shared one of the clearest, purest, most poignant metaphysical teachings I have ever seen. It may be the single most powerful metaphysical teaching as an earliest writing. That's what I'm trying to say, is the earliest written, most powerful metaphysical teaching. And I want us to share it together. It's on page 2 of your bulletin. It's the last quote. Please join me. Whatever is true, whatever is honorable, whatever is just, whatever is pure, whatever is pleasing, whatever is commendable, if there is any excellence, and if there is anything worthy of praise, think about these things. I'm going to ask you to read it once more in silence, taking the words even more deeply into your mind and in your heart.